Welcome to Crystal's Bread. Today I'm going to give you tips about sourdough starter. The sourdough starter is bacteria that surrounds all around us. It's in our air that we breathe in. It's just all around us in our kitchens. So we give them an ideal environment to grow. Here's my sourdough starter. You use warm water, sometimes room temperature water may be too cold, and you keep it in the warmest spot in your kitchen. That is ideal for sourdough starter bacteria to grow. So once you have a sourdough starter, you might want to keep it in the fridge, because fridge, the cooler temperature slows down the fermentation process. So you want to keep it in the fridge. If you're planning to make a bread tomorrow, then you take it out, starter tonight or today, then you refreshen it. Refreshen means you add water and flour, and then you mix it and then let it rise all night. It depends on the recipe of the bread you're making. Let's say most of my recipe calls for 320 grams of starter. So you add 180 grams of water, 160 grams of water, 160 grams of flour, mix it. And the next day, when you're ready to make your bread, take out that amount of starter, and the rest goes back to the fridge. So it goes like on and on like that. So this is basically a mother of the oldest starter in my home. So that's you use it a little bit, freshen it, and use it, take a little bit and then leave some. So that's a mother starter. It can be months old, few months old, a years old, few years old, but at some point, if you happens to your starter is not working, then you can restart again. Once you have a starter, sometimes if you keep it in a fridge, you notice that water and flour separating. That is totally fine. You mix them and refreshen it and continue making bread. But sometimes you do notice, like if you left it in the fridge for more than a week or 10 days or so, and then you notice that the color of the liquid part is kind of turning dark. I think it's called huge. And then it's the smell is too acidic, almost like alcoholic. Then you pour it in a measuring cup and measure that liquid and discard it, and then replace it with fresh water and continue. That should work. But if you notice that there is on top, there is mold starting to develop on the top surface, then you scoop the mold out and put fresh water and flour and mix it and refresh, and it should work fine. Some people like the sour taste of the sourdough bread, some people don't. To lessen the soury taste, you refresh it as often, every other day or every day. That way the taste of the sourdough bread is not too soury. But if you like soury taste, that's fine. If you're not making bread more than a week, it would be a good idea to refreshen your starter every week, even if you're not making bread. So that way your starter will be nice and fresh. If you going out of town and maybe more than a week, couple weeks, a month, then you wonder like how I'm gonna keep my starter. You can actually freeze it and put it in a freezer. When you come back, you thaw it and keep it in room temperature until everything is nice and room temperature wise. Then you can refreshen your starter and start making your own bread. So those are the little tips about sourdough starter. If you have a question, let me know. Thank you.